Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So today we're going to talk about information gain. Now the information gain patent, that is also part of Google's algorithm, was first published back in 2018, then 2019. It was updated in 2023 and 2024. And there are various versions of the patent, but the changes made to the patent have been minor. And so most SEOs that are watching this video might not even know about the information gain algorithm. And those that are aware of the algorithm may have a little bit of misinformation. In today's video, I'm going to demystify the algorithm by taking a look at the patent itself. So we're going to dissect the patent. We're going to look at exactly what information gain is and what an information gain score is. And I'll tell you right off the bat, if you want a TLDR of this, is it's not writing 5,000 words of content. Like some SEOs that talk about this have said, it's not about covering all angles on the same page. That's not what information gain is about. That's a whole different topic about semantic SEO. Information gain's algorithm is more about predicting what the user will choose next. Now, there's a way to optimize your site for that. And in coming years, or even in coming months, if you're not optimized for information gain, you're going to have a hard time ranking regardless of how many semantic networks you build, how semantically related your content is, or whether or not you have a great topical map or you're not even using a topical map. In fact, I'll go so far as to say is that the whole topical map creation process is going to change, because any expert will tell you that the traditional approach to creating a topical map just isn't going to work as well. Now that you have an introduction to what information gain is, let's get to the meat of this video.
All right, so understanding Google's information gain patent for ranking web pages is very important, and it's even more important with the latest August core algorithm update, because the emphasis of this update, as I mentioned in my video about the update or the core algorithm update, is uniqueness of content. And so there are insights into this that I found from Google's information gain patent, which is linked in the description. If you are someone who likes reading technical documentation or enjoys reading this type of stuff, there's a link in the description. I would highly recommend that you read the patent. It has been revised a few times, but the revisions are just minor revisions to the patent itself. The algorithm's core underlying concept has not changed. And so it's very important to understand how the algorithm works so that you can rank your websites. And the other reason is for understanding this is for a lot of people that say that, AI content is the reason why informational sites are not going to rank. This is Google's answer to the proliferation of lots of regurgitated AI content, something that I'll go into in this video. What is Google's information gain patent? Well, I can tell you that it's about Google's hunt for fresh information on just about every topic. Now, as we know, AI does not provide you with fresh information. Fresh information comes from research. It comes from understanding of the topic. It comes from relevant sources. It's not something that you will get necessarily from AI. AI is great at regurgitating content. So what is information gain? A newly granted Google patent focused on ranking web pages based on unique and new information they provide. So this does not mean you need to write 5,000 words on the topic. This does not mean that you need to write 5,000 pages on the topic. This also does not mean that you need to carry out intensive keyword research to rank. Now, all of that is still relevant. It still has its place in SEO. The most important part of it is unique information. And unique information does not mean information that passes copy escape, information that's reworded. It means information that Google does not already know about because it's not on any other website. So that's the key here. Purpose of the patent: to improve search results by prioritizing pages that offer valuable insights, reducing redundancy in search engine results. And so Google is trying to lean down its search engine and is trying to lower the cost of processing billions, if not trillions, of websites online. And what Google has found is that most websites just regurgitate the same content, whether it's news sites, whether it's informational sites, whether it's service pages. Regardless of what those sites do, they are regurgitating the same content. And that is what Google is trying to minimize or lower so that it saves on processing power, which means less crawling, less visits, less processing, less having to serve fewer results, but better results.
All right, so you've been watching this video and I hope you're getting a lot of value from it. I just wanted to add here that I offer SEO services, audits, and website SEO audit services in addition to regular SEO or monthly SEO as it's called. So you can visit cloudscodubai.com to hire me to audit your site. It's very affordable and very important at the same time. So unlike other SEO providers, I don't charge you thousands of dollars to do an audit. And my audit is not just, pointing out what's wrong with your site, but also giving you actionable steps. So if you want to do your own SEO, this is probably where you would want to start. Even if you have another company that's doing SEO for you, you want to have someone like me run an audit just to see or check if they're on the right track. The same goes for my topical mapping service. If you're looking to build authority, a topical map is the first place you'd want to start because you want to flesh out your content. You want to make sure that you're covering all the angles just so that Google sees you as an authority in the industry. And finally, my monthly SEO service, is self-explanatory. You can contact me directly via the website, or there's a link to a Google form that you can fill out and I will get in touch with you. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get back to the video.
So here's how it works. A user comes to Google search. The user types in a search query, for instance, French poodles. Google retrieves web pages that are related to French poodles. It then compares the content that's been served to the user, content compared against existing information. So what it's looking at over here in this step is, what is the next thing that the user will search for that's related to their search? So if someone searched for French poodles, is the next search going to be for French poodle training? Or is it going to be for bulldog training? Or is it going to be someone who searches for French poodles? Are they going to search for bulldogs? So that's the first thing Google's looking at. Google is also looking at, once they search for that next phrase, which website was most relevant? And so if the next phrase they search for on the search engine was bulldogs, and let's say bulldog.com was the most relevant because people spent the most time on bulldog.com or interacted with that site the most, so that site will rank number one. But what would happen is, if you created a site on bulldogs and you're number 30, but your website provides insight that other websites don't, Google will test your site, put it up to like number 2. So when someone who has searched for French poodles search for bulldogs, it'll put your site on number 2, and there are enough people clicking and staying on your site long enough, you could get that number 1 spot. So that's one of the keys here to ranking number 1 for a search term. Because Google is trying to identify what new information is on the page, and Google is trying to do that not via just mining the information of your page, but also how people are interacting to that page. And so if all the websites that are in top 10, they are talking about the same thing, but your website is different, it means that your website should be number 1, number 2, or somewhere in the top 10 that Google has identified. But then also you need to look at related queries. So your bulldog page may be more relevant to people who had previously searched for French poodles, but might not be relevant for people who had previously searched for pizza. And so Google is looking at relevance. So your website may rank for a certain type of people, and that is what this algorithm is about. Over time, what Google is doing is Google is trying to rank pages that provide more information higher or new information higher, and will rank pages lower that don't provide any new information. And so this is the process I talked about, and this is outlined over here in the text. So if you guys want to read this, you can pause the video and you can read through. It's the same. I've just put it down in points without any examples. So how does the scoring system work? So Google uses a scoring system. Now, this is controversial because the exact system has not been identified in the patent. We don't know whether the score is from 0 to 100, whether the score is a 128-bit score from 0 to 127. But we do know that Google is assigning a score, because without a score, how would Google know what pages to quickly provide a user with? Because when a user searches, it needs to see a result within a fraction of a second. And that entire process I talked about cannot be done each time a user searches. So when there's a score assigned based on relevance, that relevant score, the highest scoring site or page would be number 1, the next one 2 and 3, so on and so forth. So when you input a search query, Google retrieves web pages, extracts and analyzes content for each page, compares content against existing content information, assigns an information gain score for each page. So some pages might have a higher score than others, and finally rank pages based on the information gain score. So Google is just doing this the one time, maybe in several weeks, maybe in several months. So it's just doing this the one time. And once that's done, you've got your position there. In some industries, I've seen that Google is doing it like almost every day. And so this will vary a lot. So key concepts here is for information gain is, imagine you're searching for a topic. There are 10 web pages, all that say the same thing. This system looks for a page that says something new or adds extra useful details. The idea is to prioritize content that teaches you something different or is more in depth. So that's the first thing. The second thing is comparing content. So Google is a comparison search engine. I keep saying that. People don't understand, but here's another example of it. So Google compares the content in different web pages about the same topic. It then checks what information is already out there and identifies which pages provide fresh insight or new data. Ranking based on uniqueness. So based on the new information, things not covered by other pages are ranked higher. The more original and helpful the content, the better it will perform in search engines. Reducing redundancy. This is something, again, I talked about. The system helps to reduce repetitive search results where multiple pages say the same thing. Instead, it pushes forward pages that bring something new to the table. So this has nothing to do with AI. This has nothing to do with duplicate content, but it has something to do with unique ideas and unique presentation of your content. If that's unique enough, it provides unique enough information. That's information gain, and that's how this works.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.